welcome back to a new episode of Beautifully Made. I'm so excited to bring to you our exhibiting artist for the month of October. So today with me, I have the wonderful Glenda Hake. Glenda, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. Glenda's work is on our wall and shelves in our gallery, and everyone that stops in they're just blown away by the diversity of your styles and everything that you have displaying. And I'm like, that's not even everything. She's a photographer. I'm like, you guys have to like check her out, look her up. So please introduce yourself and talk about all of the variety of methods that you create.
Okay, so as Tracy said, my name is Glenda Hake. I'm a transient down here in Salem, Ohio. I was born and raised in Conneaut, Ohio, and that is actually where my art started. Was when I was about 5 years old. I entered my first art show at the Artist Guild in Conneaut and won first place. And it just sort of springboarded from there. I've always been involved in arts and crafts and that sort of a thing. And I step away from it once in a while, but within the last couple of years, I've picked up my art therapy ways again and got back into a bunch of different mediums and that sort of a thing.
Yeah, and I love that. On the wall, we have paintings, we have collage, you have floral designs, you have these beautiful masks that you've decorated. There's quite a bit. And then you're also a photographer, a professional photographer.
Correct. I'm doing a wedding next Saturday, actually.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
you're taking on some big challenges. Wow, that is amazing. And so, like you said, you're in Salem, Ohio. So you're almost, what, 45 minutes from our gallery, right?
Correct. Yes. It's about 42 to be exact. So,
Okay. Yeah. So it's not like she's right down the street. I mean, she reached out to display, and I just loved that the word is getting out and sharing her work here. No one has had anything like it in the shop. And so everyone is just blown away. I love some of the series that you have on display, especially when you brought up the birds. So can
the
you
birds,
talk about
yes.
the birds?
Yes. So I started displaying locally here at a shop about a year ago, and I have a wall. And so I wanted to come up with some sort of a series. And I was racking my brain, and I had some suggestions for the birth flowers and the birthstones, which I loved. But at the same time, I had just gotten a new bird feeder that had a camera on it. So I was inspired by the birds, and I'm like, I really want to incorporate that. So I discovered that there is actually a bird for every birth month. So I incorporated the two flowers, the bird, and the birthstone color for each month of the year. And it was one of my favorite series I've done.
I love how that developed. Yeah, they're blown away by that. And when you were putting the series up, I was like, I didn't even know there were for birthday months. And it's
Yes.
just been really well received. So I love that. I love how we find inspiration with the simplest things. I love the bird feeders with the cameras too. They're kind of like, they get you sucked in to learning more about
Yes,
all of that.
absolutely.
Oh gosh. So some of the pieces that you have on the wall, they're like nature inspired too. Do you get your inspiration from your surroundings? Like how do you find the inspiration to keep going in these different directions?
I do very much so, especially and I didn't bring any of my fairy houses to your display this time, but I love to repurpose and reuse stuff I find in nature. We'll go on hikes and walks, and I'll just forage and take bags with me. And, my boss will collect moss off the trees, off his property for me. And my mom, she harvests grapevine from the tops of her
Oh.
trees and gives it to me. And I just love using stuff from nature to make my designs.
Yeah, yeah, and you're even repurposing things that people don't need anymore. And during her reception, a couple came in and she was talking about these bottles that she lights up and makes into these beautiful like fairy houses. And they went home and got her an entire case of wine bottles. And I'm like,
Yes.
here you go. It was the
Yes,
best.
absolutely.
And I love that. I love repurposing things that, we necessarily don't know how to reuse. And you've come up with some beautiful ways to do that. And I know a lot of people have said that walking in and seeing some of your more sculptural pieces. I never thought about using that for this. And oh my gosh, I didn't know this would, turn into the base for this. And that's just the feedback that we're getting. And it's just
That's great.
been, yeah, they really love it. And handing out your cards and, everyone discovering that you're not even from this area. In this
Right?
area, meaning like right down the street. We have a lot of people that come through the plaza and they're just like, what do you mean? She traveled all the way from Salem? I'm like, yeah. I said,
Yeah.
yeah, she sure did. And it's such a small world too, because we found out we like knew people that between us. And it's just,
Yes,
I love how art connects people that way. You go down
absolutely.
one tangent and then you find out, oh, there's another connection there. So that's awesome. So what
Yes.
other kind of art do you do? I know you also work with like branding and logos.
Yes, I do. I do graphic design. I do logos. I do the brochures, the business cards, the typical day-to-day stuff.
Mhm.
I've designed quite a few tattoos for people, for clients. I
Yeah.
haven't personally done the tattoos. Like I'm not a tattoo artist, but I have designed quite a few, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Right now, I have a big commission line of pet portraits. So I've been working on getting those done by the end of the month for a client of mine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that seems very popular
Yes.
right now for me. So it's my
Yeah.
little
Pet.
rabbit hole right now.
Yeah. Is there anything that you've tried in the past that you're kind of like burnt out and you need to like step away from for a little while?
Actually, I did that with photography. I
Wow,
did.
really?
I stepped back from it for most of this year, and now that fall is here, I'm booked like every weekend through the end of the year.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's hard. That's hard to create anything else because it's going to take you time to take those pictures and then probably editing and getting them back to everyone. Oh my gosh.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, and I'm hoping to this winter, I'll get back down in my studio, which is just in my basement. It's nothing
Mhm.
elaborate, but that's my comfy space. That's where, I'm surrounded by all my materials, and I just put my Bluetooth speaker on and just go to town.
Yeah, just getting creative. And you also work full time, so you're doing this in your
Yes,
spare time.
yes, yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, no, I get it. Definitely. Is there a medium that you haven't tried that you want to explore?
I want to try felting or
Oh,
like, yeah, and I saw you had a class what last night
we had oh my gosh, this has been like the
with
time of year for
the
felting.
painting with felt. Yes,
Yeah, so
yes,
we had the wet felting scarves last night, and then
yes.
today we did little miniature felted necklaces with
Oh,
the
how cute.
homeschool, and then on Halloween we have a painted felting class, and then starting tomorrow for 3 days we have wet felting on a ball. So felting has taken off. It's
Yes,
been
that's
so busy.
something I've always, admired and have considered. And then I've never thrown a pot either.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hello. Yeah.
that's something I would like to try. But
Yeah, I have a wheel just looking at me at home. And my daughter, I told her, I said, you need to come home from Seattle and teach me how to do this. I got kilns now I need to learn. I've got a wheel. She just laughs at me. She's like, oh, mom, that's just a tiny one. That's not even a professional one. I'm like, I got to start somewhere.
right,
So, yeah,
exactly.
I'm right there with you, Glenda. I wish there was a closer, like, studio we could meet and learn together because I have
Yes,
mini wheels. We have little tiny ones that you could like fire with a like a lighter when they're done. They're like tiny pots, but yeah, nothing like a large wheel. I wish I don't have a space for that because it's going to
yes,
make a mess.
yes.
So yeah, at home I'm going to have to do it in the garage. I love that. So there's a lot more to learn. There's a lot more
Oh,
to
always.
explore.
Always. And I'm always looking online and getting ideas or, on social media. And it's like, oh, but I can use that, but I can do my spin on it. At work,
Yes.
they call it Glendified.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I love that you're an adjective.
Yes, yes,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
awesome. Oh, so if anyone wants to look at your work, do you have it for sale on any platforms online?
I don't actually.
Oh my
It-
gosh.
yeah, yeah. I was banned from Etsy, so I can no longer get on there.
Really? I don't even know if
Yeah.
I mean, is that a story you want to share? I mean, that's crazy. I know a lot of
Um,
people though that have been.
and I really don't know why I was banned. They told me
That's
I violated something, and it's like, but I had it up for the longest time and I was doing sales and everything was fine. Then all of a sudden I got banned and with no explanation.
yeah, that's
So
exactly what's happened to some of my friends. And I'm just like, this is making no sense. And there's been today, for some reason, so many people posting on social media how they're leaving that platform and starting their websites to to reach out to their consumers now.
Yes, yes.
So there's been a shift.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, and the farthest I go is just posting stuff on my own personal Facebook page, and
Okay.
I've generated sales that way. And then, like I said, I'm in the shop uptown here in Salem at Reach for the Stars.
Okay.
But other than that, I really don't advertise a lot. It's
Wow.
just a lot of word of mouth, and then also entering in the fair.
I was just going to start mentioning
Yep,
that. So you
yep.
have entered your work in the Canfield Fair. And if anyone is not from Ohio, Canfield Fair is the largest county fair in the state.
Yes, yes. And I
Yes.
have competed about the last 5 years. I generally enter between 12 to 14 pieces. This year, out of the 14 pieces, I earned 13 ribbons.
That's tremendous.
I have been discovered by different people that have wanted me to do work for them because of the fair.
Yeah.
They haven't necessarily purchased my products, but it was a springboard for me to do other work for them.
Yeah.
It's a great artist community in the Canfield Fair. The arts and crafts is huge, huge, huge,
That's what you were
huge. And you
saying.
meet so many interesting people.
Wow.
So yeah.
I love that. Yeah, you were educating me on that. I've never been involved in the county fairs. And so you were sharing that. And I just thought that was just fascinating. And I
And I think
love
it's
that.
great too. You don't have to live in Mahoning County. I mean, I don't. I live in, Columbiana. So they
Yeah.
don't, it's not pigeonholed. So there's people from
Mm,
all over that enter, which is nice.
yeah. So how do you discover the shows to enter? Because you said you entered your first show at 5 years old, and then you seem to, find these programs to share your work. How are you finding those?
So I actually last year, 23 or 24, I purchased a craft and art directory
Wow.
PDF. I found this girl online, and you could download it for like, I don't know, it was like $15, $25, something like that. And it
Okay.
covered the entire state of Ohio. And she also does Pennsylvania and I think New York.
Oh my gosh.
And so I just started with that list and just started going through and highlighting. And then I just started contacting and emailing and went from there. So.
Wow. That's not how you found me, is it?
No, I actually heard your interview on the radio on my way to work.
No way. Oh
I
my gosh. It's probably
did.
with Matt, right?
Yeah, yeah. And as soon as I got to work, I came in, I turned on my computer, and I sent you an email.
Yeah, that is the best. I would have to reach out to Fantone and tell him that story. That is
Yeah,
awesome. Wow. And that's a radio station here in Canton and it reaches
yes,
everywhere.
yes, yes. And I
Um,
usually listen to iHeart, and for some reason, I just had the radio on that day, and it's like, well, it was meant to be. It was
yeah,
kismet.
yeah, totally, totally. My favorite word is serendipity. It's my favorite movie. So
Yes,
trust me, I feel that into my bones all the time. So
yes, absolutely.
oh gosh. So I know you don't really have a place that you sell online, but how can people find you on, are there any social media platforms or is it just your personal that you're on? Are you share your
Well,
work?
I have my Glenda Hake Photography and Design Facebook, so they can contact me through that, or my personal Facebook. I have no problems with that, which is just me, obviously, Glenda Hake. But
Okay.
other than that, that's really all I have as far as contacts. So
Okay. No, I'll make sure that we share links for those in the show notes so people can see that. And then also, I want to share some pictures of your show and some of the things that you've sent me. So there'll be a little slideshow that's going along with this for
nice,
everyone to see, especially on the YouTube, because YouTube is the video.
right?
And I want them to see your beautiful work because it has been such a joy to have it here. And I tried to get Glenda to teach a class, everyone. So I'm just letting you know, I did ask everybody. I can't get her to do it, but that's all
Maybe,
right. I want her to be
maybe
comfortable.
maybe in 26, maybe
Yeah.
after the first of the year.
Door
Yeah,
is always open. She could do
excellent.
some collage pieces or teach us a bird or something because it's beautiful. So
That would
hopefully
be
you
so
will,
much fun.
yes, come by the end of the month so you can see her work. Definitely. Because everyone just oohs and ahs over it when they walk in.
Great.
Well, thank you, Glenda, so much for sharing all this insight and sharing your time with me today.
Well, thank you so much, Tracy.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.